Hello, I'm especially poofy today. And the nails, as the poll dictated. I remembered two things that, looking back at a different angle, I realized were rather interesting. So, old people say weird stuff. Old witness people say really weird stuff. If you're a witness or a former witness, or have been to a meeting of the witnesses, when they do question and answer, sometimes you hear some really weird stuff. People will say absolutely strange things, way too personal, way off the wall, weird stuff. So, there were two examples that I thought of where, looking back now, I had a very different understanding of what was going on. The one was a man, a brother. We'll use the witness jargon just because that makes it easier. A brother, mid-70s, and he looked probably 110. He was a very, very old man. He was a very old 75. And the Watchtower study was on Elijah. Specifically the part where Elijah was having a wizard's duel with the prophets of Baal. So Elijah challenged them to see whose God was bigger and betterer and strongerer and could burn the dead meat, the dead cows, better. So they had set up two altars. The Baal priests couldn't get the meat to burn, and Elijah showed off how big and strong Jehovah was by throwing a bunch of water on it, and it still got burned. And so then after he proved that his God was right, he went on a genocidal rampage and killed 800 people. Cool. Good story. So the brother gets the microphone and answers, well, we know this is true because scientists have found isotopes on the top of Mount Carmel. He hands the microphone back. And that was it. Mount Carmel was where this genocide supposedly took place. That was it. No explanation, no context. We all kind of chuckled. We're like, whoa, he's weird. That was weird. Where did that come from? What a strange... he means well, but boy, is he weird. That doesn't make any sense. The second one. My grandmother-in-law is very sweet. And also weird. And says some absolutely crazy things. Does some really weird stuff. And she was adamant that dinosaurs were all vegetarians. Every one of them. And this was while I was still believing, my wife was still believing, and our family and friends are all still believing, and we would pick on her about this because that is, a silly thing to say. The dinosaurs with the giant teeth and the big sharp claws, did they use that to hunt grass? To hunt a tasty head of lettuce? Pounce on it with their giant shredding claws? Maybe they liked a shredded salad? I don't know. Why did the other dinosaurs have armored plates and big spikes to defend themselves from falling trees, falling branches? Mudslides? I don't know. What did they need this obvious defense mechanisms for? But she was adamant. No, animals were all vegetarians before the Garden of Eden, and the dinosaurs were before the Garden of Eden, so therefore the dinosaurs were all vegetarians. Weird. We laughed at her for this. Well, those two crazy stories are not that crazy. Although without context, it sounds like people with dementia. But no, these are both more or less witness beliefs. Now, the isotopes one is not anything that I have found actually in print, but in the 60s, there were multiple references. You would find these on Watchtower Library. You can look these up. Look up antimatter. That'll be fun for you. That's some fun, stupid quotes. Antimatter was suggested as a tool. Boy, that was bumpy. As a tool that God would use during Armageddon, because of course they say that God is going to use scientific methods. What the hell does that mean? Scientific methods? What does that mean? It's such a dumb thing to... they say scientific methods. Obviously, he will use scientific methods to kill everyone who doesn't love him. One of those methods potentially being antimatter, or God will use antimatter to dissolve our disgusting pagan bodies after he's done murdering all of us. But antimatter was a thing that the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania Incorporated said that God might use to cook his enemies. That's nuts. And, if you are a believing witness, he's in an age bracket where he would have read that. If you heard a news story about scientists finding some sort of radioactive isotopes in the Middle East, or, you misheard something about carbon dating, you might be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Maybe that was maybe God used antimatter to burn up the meat that Elijah laid out for him. It's a perfectly logical belief, and it is not either to come to that conclusion, to get mixed up, or just to believe it. It is all, perfectly reasonable when framed with God's going to kill you with antimatter. That's stupid. His belief was perfectly sane, and we picked on him for it because we're mean, and we were in a cult too, so kind of oblivious to the fact that this is not that weird. And what my grandmother-in-law said is also, I think, current light, not even old light. I was not aware about how strongly the witnesses contend that before Eve, ate that fruit, that no animal ever killed another animal for food. That's stupid. And obviously not true. That doesn't make any sense. But, if you are a believing witness, yeah, none of those dinosaurs ate meat. Even if they are obviously giant killing machines with humongous teeth and tons of sharp teeth, giant claws, obviously designed to kill. Mangoes, I guess. This is me not getting in an accident. Here we go, crossing the street. Georgia has terribly designed roads. They're the worst. That is not good civic engineering. You should not have to do that. Cross a 4-lane highway with no stop and no lights. That should be a ramp? Something. What a terrible design. But yeah, we picked on her. And we didn't know that we were supposed to believe that and agree with her. We were mean. It's still a stupid thing to say, but it's stupid for a different reason. Because she is in a cult. Sorry. Sorry, Nani. Sorry I was mean to you about that. I'd pick on you for believing it for different reasons now, but, It's interesting, though, looking back at these are the two most, blatant incidents that I can think of. But without context, without knowing that these beliefs are either, in the same wheelhouse or literally the beliefs that the witnesses are supposed to hold. Without knowing that, thinking it's just like kind of the ramblings of somebody who's kind of losing their mind, you think that it's crazy nonsense. You think, oh my goodness, they really are losing their grip on reality. Why would they say these things? Because they were told to. because they are regurgitating watchtower teachings. Doesn't that say something about a religion where the old light sounds like the rambling of somebody with dementia? Crazy old person yells at clouds. This is what at one time passed for spiritual food straight from the mouth of Jah. The isotopes thing still gets me. That's so funny. Found isotopes on the top of the mountain. Hands it back, as if we're all going to be like, yeah, wow, great point. I don't know. He was weird. I feel bad for him. Much like Tony Morris, probably suffered from PTSD. He, at one point, I was out in service with him, and he tells me about his time in Vietnam, and not specifics. I don't know what all he did or witnessed, but it wasn't good. And he said that he would still get flashbacks to Vietnam whenever a helicopter would fly overhead. And not joking or exaggerating, not moments after he finishes saying this, a helicopter flies overhead. And all I could think is, oh Lord, is he gonna throw himself into the bushes? Look out, it's Charlie! Thankfully, he did not. But, unresolved PTSD. I'm sorry you didn't get the help that you needed. That's real rough. There's some more now that I'm thinking about him that is probably worth a share, just for the sad state that witnesses are left in. Anyway, that's what I've got for you. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful, beautiful day. I feel pretty. I'm going to do my Q&A thing next. I am also going to talk about anxiety, because I had a fun little bout with that recently. Still isn't gone. Oh, fuck. I left something at work. Oh well. Weird jump cut. I appreciate you very much. I hope that you are having a fantastic day, and I will see you next time.